What's up YouTube? Rogue One back again with another video. And this video is about the ban list and the limit list and the semi-limit list and unforbidden list. I'm making this because everybody else is making this and I wanted to be part of it and give you what my predictions are and why I have the prediction. So as you see here, I have Orchestrated Babel, and then I do have two decks. You can see the name of one of them. Of another card that we're going to be talking about, but I'm going to have two stacks of decks. One is pretty much counters to what I have in the other deck, and the other deck is the ones that are going to go up on the list. So as for Babel, so as we all know, everybody hates Babel. Oh, and before we continue on, if you like this video, please subscribe, hit the like button, the notification bell, and do leave a comment because it does help out the channel. Not only the channel, it helps out me to provide you with this amazing Yu-Gi-Oh content and whatnot. Anyways, let's get back. So again, Babel. There's a talk about Babel being banned. You know, Babel's at 1 right now, and that's helping the Orcust players do, and that's all really Orcust need is 1. But with that saying, I'm going to say Orcust is 1. I'm going to say it's going to stay at 1. And the reason for it is due to cards like Dimension Shifter. So if you have them in your hand, no cards in your graveyard, you can dip them off to the graveyard. And for this turn, any cards that get sent to the graveyard is banished instead. That pretty much almost negates that effect due to the pure fact that you can activate. They can activate Babel, Insane. You can activate this. Just dip this off, and then anything gets sent to the graveyard. And it's also a dark one, so it also helps out for Mobilize Engage, which unfortunately I don't have that card. I never pulled it, so I don't have it, and so unfortunately, but we're still going to talk about that card and this card and all that, and the Sky Strikers and all that sort of thing, but for right now, I mean, again, Dimension Null Shifter can almost pretty much counter Babel. And again, I'm going to set this back here because it also can do more than just worry about Babel's effect. So the next card we're going to talk about is Mathematician. So if we want to put a damper on this Orcust Sky Striker thing, Mathematician is the person we need to do. Babel, yeah, I understand Babel is, again, that one card that everybody hates, that one field spot everybody hates, but in my opinion, I think Mathematician. And why? Mathematician obviously can bring out, like, it can crash and you draw a card and whatnot. When this card is normal summon, or a special summon, you can send one level 4 or lower monster from your deck to the graveyard as well. So that causes it to put Harp in the graveyard, thus causing it to where Harp will be able, you can play off Harp to get Nightmare to Wand, all that sort of thing. And to be honest, I think if they limit this to 1, this deck will get a big hit. I mean, yeah, Babel will be on 1. Okay, so this is what's going to happen. So this is going to be my 1-ofs, my 2-ofs, and, well, actually, there's 1-ofs, 2-ofs, Forbidden. That's how it's going to be. So this side's going to be Forbidden, the middle is going to be 1-of, and the right side is going to be 2-ofs. And like I said, again, if they normal summon this, again, you can Dimensional Shifter, Shifter, and again, his effect pretty much cancels out because anything he sent to the graveyard is negated instead. Also, you can do Abyss Dweller. Again, you cannot activate effects in the graveyard. And not only that, I mean, Call by the Grave you can use on Harp when it gets sent to the graveyard. There's Effect Failure that can negate that effect. Is easy because this will negate the effect. Just dip it off to the graveyard. Dip it off to the graveyard and it will negate Mathematician's effect, thus causing them not being able to get a Harp. I mean, there is also, even for the effects in the graveyard, I mean, you do have then Ghost Spell and Haunted Mansion, which you can get that off and use it on harps. I mean, yeah, harps is graveyard, but as long as if you have a harp or even nightmare, because they do nightmare defense. So if they have nightmare, you can dip this off to the graveyard, target nightmare's effect, and his graveyard effect will not be able to go off for that turn because of this card. Let's see this. I mean, Primal Being, again, it stops Sky Striker's support. So, I mean, I know this is a whole separate thing, but still Sky Striker's support. Silent Graveyard is another good one for Mathematician, due to the pure fact that you discard a card, you can activate Silent Graveyard, discard a card, and any effects that activate in the graveyard this turn are negated. So again, that one that they send to the graveyard could be, like I said, Harp, and Harp's effect cannot go off. Neither would Skeletal because it's Silent Graveyard, or Abyss Dweller, or Dimensional Shifter, and effect failure to block this off, and Call by the Grave again on that too. Oh, I forgot to do that. Gate Blocker would be able to negate the effect of Babel. It negates the effect of a field spell. That's why I put this card in here. I mean, you do get them from Dual Devastator box, so you only get one copy. So if you want to run 3 of them, go for it. But it negates the effect of your opponent's field spells and any counters that it plays on and whatnot. And then this last card I have for there's another card in there in that pile that I have for Thunder Dragon when we start talking about Thunder Dragons and whatnot. So yeah, so that's what I think. Or anything like anything that does negate a monster's effect. So like Solemn Judge, I think Solemn Judgment does it. Solemn Warning, I believe, do it. So you still have all those cards that would hit his effect and be able to negate that summoning. Anyways, bottomless works because he is 1500, so you can bottomless him. Even though he gets normal summon, he can still dip it off. You bottomless him, they try to dip it off, you dimension shift to your bottomless, thus causing it to get banished anyways. But when he gets destroyed, he's automatically banished due to the pure fact of bottomless. And his effect, they do Harp, it gets banished because of dimension shifter, so that works. Okay, so I'm saying those are the one-of. So another one-of, and I know people, I'm gonna get hate in a comment for it, I say one-of Galatea. Most people say Galatea should be banned, Galatea should be banned. I mean, really, if you think about 3 Galateas, really, they normally never use the third one. They only use pretty much 2. So if this was limited down to 1, I mean, it will bust the deck. Maybe not too badly, because Longirshu, they can run at 3 or whatnot, or run 2 of or whatnot. But still, I'm saying 1 Galatea, that would work out perfectly. The deck with these 2 cards being at 1, the deck won't have that consistency that it has, and it will end up being nerfed, as we call it, and whatnot. And then I would say Nightmare. I mean, Nightmare, people are running it at 2. I'm saying it. Some people are running it at 3. I'm saying it should stay at 2. And again, because like I said, Silent Graveyard, I mean, you can even Infect Veiler it. You can Call by the Graveyard when it's in the graveyard. I mean, Abyss Dweller, you have these 5. I mean, Dimension Shifter, so it won't get sent to the graveyard. Like I said, Ghost Spell and Haunted Mansion is a good one as well. I mean, yeah. And Anamano Wado. I mean, none of these cards can activate their effect unless they're spirit monsters. So yeah, there's a lot of outs for that. Now the one thing I think, and I know I'm gonna get hate for this, is I think Mobilize Engage should drop down to 1. Again, they still need to sell the other box and packs and whatnot that has the Sky Striker support. And I think with Mobilize Engage being at 1, again, Mobilize Engage, they can always recycle it back out through the graveyard and whatnot and always be able to search it. So I think it being at 1 would be okay. That's a card I do not have, unfortunately, but that's my opinion on that. So for the cards to be banned, I'm going to say Harp. And the reason why I say Harp is because Harp is your, I mean, anything, any Orcust card pretty sure will work, but I'm saying Harp is the heart and soul of the deck pretty much. Running 3 Harp Horrors, put those in the graveyard, you can activate the effect, put Wand in the graveyard, and then you can target like Galatea, and Galatea will get an extra 800 put in it to 26 and all that. So I'm saying Harp should be banned. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for saying that, but again, I mean, I know, as you see that I have down here, all these outs that can prevent Harp from using his effect and whatnot, but still, it's like, I still think that Harp should be banned. If Harp is banned, it will only stop the consistency, either banned or limited to 1. And the reason why I say that is because it will, yeah, be limited to 1, but they would be able to activate him once, and that would be it. You don't have to worry about Harp Horror again, unless they'd be able to send it from the Banish Zone to the graveyard and whatnot. So either banned, we can either ban this, or we can go through and ban Mathematician. But I'm thinking either, if they limit one of these two, the other one has to be banned, due to the pure fact that it's just the way the deck runs is pretty much unfair to everybody else who are trying to compete and actually want to win and actually take their time to build a deck, take months and months to build a deck just to go qualify in a regional, go to the YCS, and then end up losing to this deck that takes maybe about 30 seconds to build, because all it is really just these main cards and then a bunch of hand traps. So like really it's unreal. And I would say that either Harp gets banished or Mathematician gets banished. If Mathematician gets banished, then Harp can go to 2. But if Mathematician gets limited, I'm going to say Harp would have to get limited or banished as well. Or banned, not banished. Banned as well. If this one gets limited, Mathematician being at 2 would be a little bit okay, due to the fact that, okay, they have this to target, and they also have Armageddon Knight and Dark Grepher. These two also are going to be ones I talk about as well. But for right now, I'm talking about what I have here on the field. So I'm still sticking to either this, both limiting these, or banishing. Sorry about that, guys. Or banishing this, or banishing this. Again, I watched everybody's YouTube video on what they think is going to happen on the ban and limit list and all that. And I actually took some time to think about it and whatnot. And what I thought about was, I went through this deck. I don't have the cards. Again, I have proxies of the cards. And I went through this deck and I ended up thinking, you know, one of these two has to go. Either Mathematician or Harp has to go. And if Mathematician goes, then this deck will be broken, almost. It won't be completely broken, because you still have Armageddon Knight, and you'll still have Dark Grepher, and those are 2 cards that I'm actually going to talk to you about, due to the fact that not only does it have the same not only do pretty much both of them do the same thing as Mathematician, but anyways, it's so either Mathematician being banned or Horror Harp being banned. If Harp gets banned, that's the problem, because then people cannot run just pure Orcus. But I'm thinking if Mathematician gets banned and Harp gets limited, or if both of them gets limited, people still have this Orcus and the Babel, or the Harp and the Babel, to run just pure Orcus. They won't have to worry about running Mathematician and whatnot. So when it all comes down to it, I guess both being limited will be fine as well, because you can normal summon this, dip this off to the graveyard, then you banish this. I think you special summon this to the graveyard, or you can special summon this to the field, then do his effect kind of thing and all that. So I don't think it should be limited. I think it should be, or semi-limited. I think it should be limited. Nightmare can be semi-limited because everybody runs 2 of them anyways. If you run 3, it mostly will be for a pure Orcus deck, and for those people who do run pure Orcus, still having it at 2, you can still pull out everything. Mathematician's pretty much broken in the Orcus Sky Striker deck. That's why I'm saying banned or limited. So what I'm going to do is put it here, and same with Harp, either banned or limited. So that's why I'm going to set this here as well. I think those 2 cards out of mostly all the cards that I picked out here, even engaged, I think those 2 cards will be the 2 cards that are supposed to be the banned or limited. Should be these. If one's banned, the other ones could be limited. They both get limited, they both get limited. If worse comes to worse, I think Mathematician should be the one semi-limited, and Harp should be the one limited, because then they won't have that many targets to be able to pull out, other than Harp, and then the 2 or 1 Skeletal that they run would be like really the only 2 cards they can pull out with Harp, unless they do Armageddon Knight or Dark Grepher. Now, onto Dark Armageddon Knight and Dark Grepher. So those 2 right now are both semi-limited. So I'm thinking, or are both limited. I'm thinking throw them over here into the semi-limited. Now you guys might be like, oh, it's gonna make it broken, so on and so forth. Yeah, you know, the deck, yeah, okay, you guys think, but again, Effect Vader can negate their effect on the field. Dimension Shifter again prevents any cards going to the graveyard, so really all of the effects cannot pay off. Again, Ash Blossom deck to graveyard. Even if they special summon from the deck or deck to hand, I mean Ash Blossom will be good on both of those as well. So really, and then again, this only spirit monsters can activate their effect. And I mean, oh, this would be good for engaged as well. I forgot to mention that. I think. Oh yeah, Silent Graveyard's another one. Abyss Dweller's another one. So yeah, it's all that. And to be honest, the ones that should come off, I think they should limit. Oh, and then Compulse for the Thunder Dragon. Obviously, Colossus should be limited. I think all that. Yeah. So, and then put back at 1, Jar of Avarice, or Pot of Avarice, Pot of Greed should be put back at 1. Again, Ash Blossom stops both of them. Not only that, they can be so many things. Look at my dog, she just climbed on my bed. But yeah, they can be so many, there's so many cards to prevent these cards from going off. And I think that's why, if none of them gets banned, it's pretty much almost because of Dimension Shifter. Okay guys, thank you. Have a nice, have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and I'll see you guys again. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks, guys. Rogue One out.